So, guys, welcome to this Capstone prep 1 part 1 session. So, in this particular session, we're gonna discuss about what do we need to do, what are the guidelines that we need to follow during this prep 1 part 1 session, what questions will be there, and how do you need to answer those questions in your document regarding those concepts we would be discussing in this prep 1 part 1 session. Okay, and so all your queries, if you're having any queries or if you're having any doubts, I request you all to please put it in the chat box. So I will answer those queries once I have completed the session. Okay. And this session will be recorded and this will be updated in the COEPD YouTube channel. Okay. Yeah. Let us start this. Just give me a second. So if you all observe, in Capstone Prep 1 Part 1, so we would be giving a case study to you. So we have taken a reference of similar case study. Whereas in prep 1 part 1, we will be having a online agriculture product store. But we haven't kept the online agriculture product store over here. We have taken a similar case study which is related to fashion. So based on this, we'll be looking at how to answer those questions. So what you need to do, you need to look into the online agriculture product store. You need to read that case study and you need to answer the questions which were given in the capstone one. Okay, according to. Okay. Yeah. This capstone one entirely is about the waterfall model, guys. Okay. So it is divided into three parts. Prep 1 part 1, capstone prep 1 part 2, capstone prep 1 part 3. So entirely collectively we'll be having 44 questions, where these 44 questions are divided into three parts under the three points. Okay. So what you need to do once you're assigned with the capstone prep 1 part 1 question paper, you please read the case study. So here, as I've discussed with you before, here we have taken a similar case study which is related to the online, right? Online fashion. So here it is given that the case study. So Mr. Anthony is a prosperous NRI. So where he want to develop a website related to the fashion in order to sell those apparels and the accessories, where he has collaborated with the team regarding to develop an application so that their website should be easy to navigate and to have some contemporary look and upon looking at the papers and Anthony has understood that the KIT has similar application. So where the sales are status declining and all. So he thought of improving these applications and there is a project timeline which is given and the budget for the project. So here, yeah, they also discussed about what are the current problems being faced by the KT. Lack of knowledge of fashion of the customers, lack of customer reach and so looking at the current problems, what Mr. Anton thought, uh, he thought of pulling the team on board. So he has the following team members where there is a project head, committee member, and different committee members are involved. And he also having an offshore team where the different types of people involved in working on the particular application. So remember, once you have read the case study, you need to decode the case study. First, to analyze what is this project idea is. So according to over here, what is the project idea regarding this single case study which we have taken to develop a website which is related to the fashion in order to focus on this high-end apparel of the accessories, right? And what are the current needs involved? So the website should be easy to navigate. It should have a contemporary look and you need to process the payments very quickly. Then understand what is the overview of the project. It's a e-commerce based project. Okay, there is already an existing application, but the current project would like to take the inputs from the current one and work on the new one. Okay, and it you need to identify the current problems. So what are the current problems involved over here in this particular case study which you have taken? So there is a decline of sales and it is not a user friendly website and it is not being able to handle the competition. Then you need to know who are the team members involved with the particular case study in the particular project. So once you have read the online agriculture product store, read the case study and decode the case study and get to know about what is the project idea is about, what are the current needs of the project, an overview of the project, and what are the problems involved in that particular project, and know the team. So this is how you need to decode your case study. So once you have decoded the case study, you can start answering the questions. Okay. So the first question in this prep on part one is about the business process model. So what is a business process model? So this business process model give you an process of what your project is about. You get to know about the process. Okay. So this serves like, as a guide to all the team members. So what is your project is about and all. Okay. So what you need to do in your particular document. So you need to write answer regarding this, right? So tell what is a business process model, and you need to put these topics under the business process model. So what is the goal of the project? What are the inputs and what are the resources we need and what are the outputs we're gonna get and what are the activities involved in this particular project and what is the value that is it's gonna create. So what is the goal with respect to this online agriculture, this fashion related e-commerce case study in order to bridge the gap between the buyers and the sellers. This is the goal of the particular online fashion. And what are the inputs we gonna take? We need to take the customer data, marketing campaigns, and the trained employees. And what are the resources we need to have? We need to have a warehouses and software and also some office space. And what outputs we need to get and all? So the sales revenue efficiency and what are the activities involved in this particular case studies, excellent customer service, the partner with leading brands, value, and what value it's going to create, a wide range of customer satisfaction and all. So what you need to do, guys, you need to read the online agriculture product store and identify what is the goal, what are the inputs, and what are the resources and what outputs it's gonna create and what are the activities involved in the project and what value it's gonna create. Likewise, you need to answer that particular question in a Word document. Okay. So this is all about the business process model. And next question, you need to prepare on SWOT analysis. So what is a SWOT analysis? So cost two slides. Okay. Okay, Rakesh. Yeah, do not worry. This recording will be available in the YouTube. Okay. This is all about the first question. Okay. Then the second question is about the SWOT analysis. So, what is a SWOT analysis? This acronym stands for strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So, why do we need this SWOT analysis in a project? In order to know where our project is being standing. So, we need to identify what strengths we are having in your project. What are the weaknesses involved? What are the opportunities we are having, what are the threats involved. Okay, so these strengths and weaknesses are internal to the project, whereas these opportunities and threats are the external factors. By conducting this SWOT analysis, we can get to know so what are the loopholes or the weaknesses that we are having. So we can identify everything, every aspect from our side. So we can start improving if there are any such weaknesses and all. Okay. So according to this online fashion application, what are the strengths it is having? The strong brand recognition and the reputation on the online fashion. And what is the weaknesses it is having? It is depending on the external vendors, some supply chain disruptions and the inventory management issues. So what are the opportunities it is having? So it is trying to expand in the new product categories and it is trying to expand in the markets. And what are the threats it is having, So economic downturns and there is a change in the customer spending habits. So what you need to do, guys, you need to read the online agriculture product store and you need to identify what are the strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats involved over there. And what do you mean by SWOT analysis and who gonna conduct the SWOT analysis? Likewise, you need to analyze and you need to put your answer in the Word document. This is about the SWOT analysis. And the third question is about the feasibility study. So, what is a feasibility study? So, while they are starting a project, they would be conducting a feasibility study. What is the purpose of this feasibility study? Means we are just looking like, if whatever the uh, if the project is technologically feasible or not, or we having all the technologies which we need. Okay, and are we having all the hardware and software in order to develop that a particular project? Do we have every resources or not? So do we have this ample budget or not? Do we have sufficient time frame or not? Okay, such things we need to consider. We are looking whatever the things we are having. Is it enough for in order to develop our particular project? Will be consider or not? So here in this particular question, answer what is a feasibility study is about and write about the technology which you are using for the particular project. Like, in this particular case study, we have spoken about, database servers, payment gateways, security, and the APIs. Okay. And then what are the hardware we are taking over here? We are taking up this based on the storage, we are having some backup systems and the network infrastructure. And what is the software you are using? So based on the shopping cart, so content management system and the payment gateway software we are making use of. And what resources we need for this project? What the team members involved, like project management team, business analyst, and the software developers. So what budget we need? It depends upon the development cost and the hardware cost and the time frame based upon the resources and based upon the features. Likewise, you need to analyze what technology you're taking into your project, what hardware and software you need, and what are the resources you're taking in this project, what is the budget involved, and the time frame. You need to mention about these topics and mention about what is a feasibility study and why do we need this. So this is all you need to keep in the question 3 in your document. And next question is about the gap analysis. So this gap analysis is something which we will be analyzing the current state and the desired state of the project. What is the current state and what is the desired state? So by doing so, we can identify the gaps involved in your project. And there onwards, you need to perform some strategies in order to reduce those gaps actually. Okay. So once this question has been asked, what you need to do, tell what is a gap analysis as about and tell about the current stage of the project and what is the desired state, which means the future state, how your application wants to looks like, the desired state of the project in please keep. And what gap you have identified over here, you need to keep it over here. So according to this online fashion store, what is the current state? So we have an online fashion platform. So with some wide variety of products and some shopping experience and all. So dependence on the external factors of for product supply and the limited control over the product quality and high operating expenses due to the investments in technology and marketing. So this is the current state is involved in this particular project. So what we want to have in future, what type of outcome we need to have, like, is nothing but the desired state, right? So here we are trying to increase control over the product quality through strategic partnerships with select brands and designers. And we are trying to expand the product into the new categories and into the new markets. So we are trying to invest more into the technologies in order to enhance the customer experience. And we want to increase some operational efficiency and profitability by having some of the cost reduction measures. Likewise, you need to write it in your document as per the online agriculture product study. Okay. So prepare on this Viva also guys thoroughly. Okay. So once you're prepared with your document and once you have booked the slot for the prep 1 part 1, the mentor's gonna look into your document and gonna ask questions from them. So you need to prepare your document and for the Viva parallel. Okay. And the question 5 is about the risk analysis. So for any project, it is essential to conduct the risks analysis. Why? So you need to identify the risk before you are taking up something, and you need to take specific measure in order to overcome those risks. Okay, if you haven't identified risk and you continue with the project, there might be risks involved going forward, and this may hamper your project regarding your time, budget, and everything. So before that, you would be conducting some risk analysis where you need to identify the risks involved in your project, and based on that, you'll be taking some decisions. So regarding these questions, when they asked you about, you mention what is a risk analysis is about, and identify what are the internal risks involved, what are the external risks, what are the BA risks, and what are the project-based risks. So according to this online fashion store, what is an internal risk? So internal risk is something which is involved internally within your project. So within your organization or within your particular project, and all, we are having some risk within that. You need to identify those. Okay. So here, what we are having, there is a dependence on the external vendors for this product supply and also the inventory management. And there is a very high operating expenses due to more investment into technology and marketing. Okay. And what are the external risks might be involved? External risks are something. These are the outside factors which would hamper, like, there might be changes in the legal regulations, or there might be changes in these new tax rules and all. These are some external risks. Okay. And so you can see the external risks could be some intense competition from the other online applications which are available outside, and some changes in the government regulations and the policies that affect the e-commerce industries. These are the some of the external risks. And what are the BA risks, which are specific to the BA domain, like incomplete requirements, the domain related, not having a proper domain related knowledge, and the continuous change in the requirements. Such type of things could be involved in your BA risks. So what are the project-based risks which are specific to your project, right? Like, scope risk, like if the project is not within the scope or not, and the stakeholder risks and all. Likewise, you need to identify different types of risks involved in the particular online agriculture products to identify those risks and keep under this. Okay. Then the next question is about a RACI matrix. Okay. So what is a RACI matrix? The acronym of this is responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. The RACI matrix is nothing but we also call it as a stakeholder analysis. So this matrix we use in order to identify the roles and responsibilities. So who fits where? So what are those roles and who are those responsibilities, and all we're gonna keep under this RACI matrix. So who you need to identify who are all the stakeholders involved in your project, and you need to keep, like, who comes under responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. So this is one you know template which you have provided regarding RACI matrix, where we have categorized, like, responsible, accountable, consulted, informed, the name of the designation and all, name of the resources and their designation and the details about them. So what do you mean by responsible? Responsible are the people who are the doers of the project. Okay. And accountable is something. So you are need to be answerable for that. So whatever, if it's a success or a failure, this person, accountable person is someone you need to be answerable on that. And consultant is the one whom we're gonna help you in the project regarding information thing and all. From whom we're gonna take some inputs or regarding the information which you need for your project. And who are the informed people means, so whatever the progress you're gonna doing in your project, there is some person to which who you need to inform. Those comes under the informed people. Okay. Likewise, read the online agriculture product store and identify who comes under responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. You can make use of this template and identify according to the case study. Okay. And the next case question is about the business case document. So, what is a business case document? Business case document gives a clear process, what is your process is about entirely, you can look into the business case document. Okay. So in this business case document, you need to answer certain questions. You need to prepare answers for the certain questions, guys. Okay. So why is this project initiated? So, and what are the current problems involved? Identify what are the problems involved in this particular case study. Okay. So once you have implemented this project, what type of problems could be solved? You need to mention. And what resources you required for this particular project, and how much organizational change is required in order to adopt this technology and all, and what is the time frame that you need in order to recover the return on investments, and how did you identify the stakeholders. Likewise, you need to answer regarding all these questions as per the online agriculture store. That is all about your business case document. So the question 8 is about the SDLC methodology. So in SDLC, we have different types of methodologies, right? So here we have sequential methodology, iterative, evolutionary, and agile. Okay. So what you need to do if this particular question was given to you, mention about the, you need to write details, like, give a detailed description on about what is a sequential methodology, what is a iterative methodology, and what is a evolutionary methodology, and what is an agile. First of all, what is a methodology? Methodology is something like, it consists of some rules or regulations or some guidelines of the procedures. So in such cases, we have different types of methodologies. You need to describe about all these methodologies in your particular document. Okay. So as we know, sequential is something which is follows a linear approach. We need to follow step by step procedure. Only one step is completed, then only we can move to the next step. Likewise, we describe about all these methodologies. What is iterative, what is evolutionary, and what is agile. As we know, agile is something um, which is mostly used for faster delivery of your project, where change requests could be easily looked upon and all. Likewise, you need to mention about each of these methodologies, guys. Okay. And the next question is about, question number 9 is about the SDLC models. There in question number 8, we are talking about the methodologies. And in question number 9, are talking about the models. There is a difference between the methodology and model. Okay. Do not get confused over here. In this particular question, you need to mention about, describe about all the models, guys. So what are the models we are having, like, waterfall model, V model, spiral model, Scrum framework, and the RUP model. So these are the different models, like, under different methodologies. So waterfall falls under the sequential, spiral falls under the evolutionary methodology, Scrum falls under the agile framework, RUP falls under iterative. So in this particular question, what you need to do, you need to describe about these models. What is a waterfall model about? You need to give some description about these models, every model over here. Okay. Likewise, you need to answer the ST or keep the details about all the models in this particular question number 9 in the document. Next. The question number 10 is about, they are asking to mention the differences between a waterfall and the V model. Not specifically 4 differences we need to give at least 4 differences. If you have got to know about lot more differences, you can keep those also. Okay. So here we have differentiated the waterfall and V model. So waterfall model, it is regarding the cost, it is very low, whereas V model, it is expensive. Okay. So in this waterfall model, the testing activities which are there will be performed in the later stages, which is in the NN. And coming to the V model, so these testing activities will be done in the first stage itself. Parallelly, will be developing at the same time will be testing. Okay. And this waterfall model moves in a linear approach, which is a top to bottom approach, or one after the other. So this V model does not move in a linear way; it goes on parallel. Parallel developments and parallel testing will happen over here, and there would be a less customer involvement in this waterfall model, whereas in this V model there is a more customer involvement. Okay, so This is all about your 10th question. You need to write the differences between the waterfall and the beam. So the next question is about, they are asking on which model or which methodology is will suit your project, and you need to justify your choice. So once you read the case study, according to you, what you feel you need to give, like which methodology or model you feel that it is suitable for this particular project, and why this model is suitable for this project, you need to justify. Okay, you need to put answer in your own words. This is up to you. You are making your own choice regarding the model you are taking for the project, and you need to provide your justification. So, according to this online fashion application, what I feel is I want to take a V model, since parallel development and testing will happen and all. I want to take this V model. Why? Because in a sense, I want to get it delivered fastly instead of going step by step. Uh, yeah, like from start to end and taking lot of time. I want to go this view model. Likewise, you need to give your justification for the online agriculture product store. Okay. And the next question is about you need to prepare a Gantt chart for this project. First of all, mention what is a Gantt chart. Okay. So what is a Gantt chart? It shows where your project is been standing. It acts like a progress of your project. You can get to know the progress of your project through this Gantt chart, right? So mention what is a Gantt chart is about, what is its purpose in a project and all. Okay. And you need to prepare the Gantt chart for the project. You can prepare a Gantt chart by making use of the Excel. Take the data which is gonna take in a project. Here, if you observe this, we have taken the what are the resources involved in your project, and we have given the duration, how these resources are being involved in the entire project duration. Coming to the project manager, he's been involved in the project entirely. The same with the business analyst also. Whereas the Java developer will be involving from week 20 to week 73. Likewise, identify the resources in your project, mention the time duration on which they are being involved, and create a Gantt chart for your project. You can make use of Excel for creating your Gantt chart. Okay. This is what you need to put in your Gantt chart for this particular question in your document. Okay. And the next question number 13 is about you need to describe on identify the differences between the fixed bid and the billing model. So what is a fixed bid model? So this fixed bid model you would use in a project. Okay. Where here in this fixed bid, the budget and the time duration are fixed, which means you need to develop that project within the particular time frame and in that within the particular budget itself. This is about your fixed bid. Okay. And what is a billing project? So billing project here, the time and budget is not fixed, guys. So the employees will be paid based on the amount of hours they have been worked. There is no limitations for this time and the budget over here. Okay. So identify what is a fixed bid about, give more details about it, and what is the billing project is about. You need to identify the differences. Okay. Then the question number 14 is about the timesheets. So you need to prepare 7 timesheets, guys. So for requirement gathering, for requirement analysis, design, development, testing, UAT, and deployment phases. For all these 7 phases, you need to prepare a timesheet. Here we have shown you the sample timesheet. You can look into it. So in requirement gathering phase, there would be certain tasks involved. So I did give those tasks names. So in this requirement gathering, what type of tasks we are having? So we are identifying the stakeholders meeting. There would be a client interaction and the fine tuning of inputs for the BRD document, and we are sorting the requirements, and there would be a team meeting. So actionable items means they are describing about this particular task. So this meeting is regarding we are listing down the stakeholders, and this client interaction will be doing on a Zoom call and update the client, and we'll be creating a MOM. Okay, the fine tuning of inputs, we'll be having a discussion with the SME in person call, and requirement sorting in the template. We'll be sorting the requirements and all. Team meeting. So there will be discussion on the day inputs. Okay. And we need to give the start time and the end time of that particular task. What is the start time? It's 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and the duration, 1 hour. Total 7.5 hours. Okay. Likewise, you need to prepare a time sheets for the remaining phases also. Here we have created for the requirements gathering, right? So similar way, you need to prepare the time sheet for requirement analysis, design, development, testing, UAT, and deployment phases. In total, we need to have 7 timesheets in this particular question. Okay. This is all about the timesheets. And what is the purpose of timesheets? Timesheets is something like, whatever the work you have done on that particular day, you'd be filling in those the timesheets, right? That is the purpose, okay? So have prepare 7 timesheets for this particular question, guys, okay? So this is all about your prep 1 part 1. So these are the questions which would be there in your document. So according to the case study, you need to prepare your answers. Here we have just shown a similar online application related to the fashion store. But you need to put answers as per the online agriculture product store in your document, guys. Okay.